Hi everybody, Professor Chen here with Toby. And Mondays have been really tough this semester with snow days and a bunch of holidays, so we thought that we would make you an assignment during the second day of the week, and we will meet up with you guys next Monday. So I was chatting with Professor Robinson about kind of ideas that we can have for this week's participation assignment, and we happened upon the idea of space savers. Space saving is this practice that that happens in a lot of cities, but it's really well known in Boston, where if you take the time to dig yourself out during a snowstorm, you could place a space saver, such as a chair or something, in the place of the space, and that space is yours for the next 48 hours. This practice was endorsed by the late Mayor Tom Menino. And what's interesting is that space saving is really popular in Brookline, where I live, but where Professor Robinson lives, in Harvard, space saving is actually a bit of a faux pas. You're not really allowed to do it. It's a taboo. And if you were to try to save your space, some people may actually yell at you. So this gives you an idea of, if you buy into the culture, then that becomes a part of the society that you live in, and how it's different from one place to another. Another thing that occurs is our expectation effects. So Rosenthal studied rats, and he split normal, average rats up into two groups, a quote-unquote smart rat group and a quote-unquote dumb rat group. And he gave these rats to his students to handle, and he had them run through mazes. What was really interesting was that they found that the smart rats, which are just the same as all the other rats, they actually performed twice as well as the quote-unquote dumb rats. What was actually going on is that the students that got the smart rats, here's my rat, they would handle their rats differently than the people that got dumb rats. They would pet them nicely, and they would treat them well, and they would just treat them like smart rats. It became a self-fulfilling prophecy, because it's actually well known that rats that are handled well and touched gently actually tend to do better for certain tasks. So the smart rats actually became smart because of the way that the researchers handled them. And you see this with all kinds of things in terms of expectation effects, where people who are really into wine they believe that they can tell the difference between good wine and bad wine. And in the case of Professor Robinson, who's really into audio fidelity, he cares a lot about the type of music reproduction that you are using, so speakers, for example. For this week's participation assignment, we would like to know what forms of cultural consumption do you participate in? Are you really big on binging on House of Cards? Do you really like Jane Austen books? What kind of things do you really consume? These are your time wasters. And the second part of the assignment is, what are you a snob about? Are you a cheese snob, a wine snob, movie snob, literature snob, comic book snob, car snob? What are some things that you are so passionate about that you, in a way, judge others' opinions on that subject? So we can't wait to see the ideas that you guys put together, and we will see you guys next week.